Hello there, welcome to News at 10 on Rajya television, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be taking you through the top developing stories of the day from India and across the world. Let us start with the headlines. Indian border guard thwart attempts by Chinese soldiers to enter its territory in Ladakh. Standoff at Pangong Lake. Soldiers injured on both the sides in stone pelting. Thirteen districts affected by floods in Bihar. Death toll climbs to 91. Situation continues to be critical in a Government directs internet majors to remove links of dangerous online game, a Blue Whale Challenge. Game has led to children's suicide in the country. US releases 2016 International Religious Freedom Report. Says a religious freedom under attack in Pakistan. 80% of the world population living with restrictions. And 27 people killed and 83 others injured in a suicide attack by Boko Haram in northeastern Nigeria. Attack carried out by 3 female suicide bombers. The day's biggest story: as India celebrated its 71st Independence Day on Tuesday, Indian and Chinese armies clashed in Ladakh. Now, Indian border guards frustrated an attempt by the Chinese soldiers to enter the Indian territory along the banks of famous Pangong Lake in Ladakh. This resulted in stone pelting that caused minor injuries to people on both the sides. Now, soldiers of the People's Liberation Army, or the PLA, tried to enter the Indian side in 2 areas, Finger 4 and Finger 5, twice between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. on 15th of August. But on both the occasions, their attempts were thwarted. After Chinese troopers found their path blocked by the Indian soldiers, they began hurling stones. Indian border guards retaliated. The situation was brought under control after the customary banner drill, under which both the sides hold banners before stepping back into their respective positions. This clash comes amid the backdrop of the standoff along the Sikkim border recently. And now on to the flood situation across several states in the country. The situation in Bihar is grim, with 13 districts now affected by rising waters. The death toll has touched 91. Here is a report.
हम अपने लाइफ में ऐसा पानी कभी देखे ही नहीं। इससे पहले था बाढ़ जो आया था पिछले साल, तो उसमें कुछ राहत मिली थी हमको, तो हम ला के दिए थे पब्लिक को। इस बार हमको कुछ नहीं मिला, तो हम लोग सब उसी एक ही तरह सब एक ही है।
69.81 lakh people in 13 districts of Bihar hit by the flood. The situation is grim.
अचानक सैलाब आने से थोड़ा 3 रोज से बारिश हुआ। भारी बारिश के कारण इतना सैलाब आ गया, जिसके लिए कि हम लोग का छत के ऊपर तक ही पानी गुजर रहा।
Chief Minister Nitish Kumar made an aerial survey of flood-affected areas again, his second since Monday. He spoke about the flood situation in the state in his Independence Day address.
बाढ़ से उत्तर बिहार में कई जिलों में काफी नुकसान हुआ है। उत्तरी बिहार की नदियां खतरे के निशान से ऊपर बह रही हैं और इस क्षेत्र के लोग अप्रत्याशित स्थिति का सामना कर रहे हैं।
The state government reiterating that the first right over the state's treasury is of flood victims and that the centre is offering all possible assistance.
सेना को बुलाना पड़ा है और एनडीआरएफ की करीब 22 टीम और एसडीआरएफ की 16 टीम दिन रात लोग लगे हुए हैं और बड़ी संख्या में मोटर बोट और हर तरह की मदद की जा रही है कि दिन रात एक करके लोग बाढ़ से जूझ रहे हैं। और देश के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी लगातार संपर्क में हैं और केंद्र हर तरह की मदद कर रहा है। तो केंद्र राज्य दोनों मिलकर इस भयंकर जो विपदा है इसका मुकाबला कर रहे हैं।
1.61 lakh people have been evacuated and taken to safer places. Out of them, 85,949 have been put up in 343 relief camps in different places. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
And the situation in Assam is also critical. 32 lakh people in 25 districts of the state have been affected. 18 people have been killed so far in the second wave of deluge. Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal said that the main cause of the havoc created by river Brahmaputra is the silt and sand carried out by rivers from other states. The Chief Minister has said that possible central assistance is being provided and that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has assured cooperation towards finding a lasting solution to the problem by taking up the matter with the neighbouring states. The floods have not just claimed lives but has also affected wildlife in the state. And flood fury also continues in several parts of West Bengal and Arunachal Pradesh. In West Bengal, the overall situation in worst hit Jalpaiguri and Alipurduar district has improved. Water levels of all the major rivers in North Bengal has receded. In view of the prevailing situation, 11 outgoing trains have been cancelled. Several Kolkata-bound buses have also been cancelled. Now, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee says that the situation is being monitored around the clock. Meanwhile, in Arunachal Pradesh, the flood situation continues to be grim in several districts with reports of disruption of surface communication pouring in from various parts of the state. Inter-district road communications have been badly affected due to landslides. The Border Road Task Force has been deployed and they are carrying out relief work and carrying out clearing of the road blockades. And search operations are still underway in Uttarakhand's Pithoragarh district to trace the persons who went missing after the two cloudbursts in the state. The cloudbursts triggered by torrential rains in Tawa Ghat and Malpa areas of Darchula subdivision claimed 6 lives. 10 people are missing. Now, continuous rain is hampering rescue and relief operations in the area. The SDRF, ITBP, state police and army personnel have been pressed into services to carry out relief operations. Meanwhile, in the wake of these incidents in the state, the External Affairs Ministry has said that all Kailash Mansarovar pilgrims are safe and secure. It also said that the Uttarakhand government is in constant touch with them. In a series of tweets, MEA spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that Uttarakhand government and ITBP are taking steps to ensure a safe journey for all the Kailash Mansarovar pilgrims. And in the neighbouring Nepal and Bangladesh also, the flood situation is alarming. 120 people have lost their lives in Nepal, while in Bangladesh, more than 500,000 people have been affected. Here is a report.
Flood and landslides in Nepal claiming 120 lives, nearly 35 people still unaccounted for, over 6 million affected across the Himalayan country.
यहाँ सबभन्दा पहिले चौपायाहरूको सबभन्दा बर्बादी भएको छ मान्छेको, तर आफू खान पुग्दैन, चौपायालाई के खिलाउनु यस्तो अवस्था छ। मान्छे आफ्नो जान जोगाउन सक्दैन, चौपाया कसरी जोगाउँछ यो अवस्था छ, यो सृजित अवस्था छ। यो सरकारले यहाँसम्म नजर पुर्याएको छैन, जबकि सरकारले गर्दैन भने कसले गर्छ?
More than 2,800 houses have been completely destroyed. Heavy rains have lashed the country for the past 5 days. The Rapti River, which flows through a large part of Nepal towards the southern plains, has flooded human settlements. Many people, including foreigners, have been stranded in Sauraha, a part of the Chitwan National Park that is a popular tourist spot. Nearly 27,000 security personnel are engaged in post-disaster operations and a search for those missing is underway. 27 districts across Nepal have been affected. China has announced a $1 million assistance to the flood-hit country. In Bangladesh, more than 500,000 people have been affected by heavy monsoon rains that have triggered floods. Three days of continuous rain have caused floods and landslides that have killed at least 27 people. Thousands have been forced to flee their homes as the rain affected 20 districts in the country. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And the flood situation in Sierra Leone in West Africa is also grim. The president there has appealed for urgent help for the flood-hit capital of Freetown. The area is the worst hit, with up to 400 people feared dead as rescue workers continue to search for bodies there. Now, hundreds of people are missing after muddy rubble swept through the reagent area near the capital Freetown on Monday. A mass burial of victims is planned to free up space in mortuaries. Dozens more bodies were recovered on Tuesday as rescue efforts were mounted and searches were conducted at destroyed houses in the area. The Red Cross said that 312 bodies have been recovered on Monday and said that it was struggling to get equipped with take out bodies that were buried deep into the mud. The aid agency said that an estimated 600 people were still missing. It is feared that the number of dead will rise further. Another 3,000 people are estimated to have lost their homes.
The worst disaster this way Salon ever met. Because if you join Ebola, the highest number of deaths per day within 24 hours by Ebola now 111 people. Even January is 6th, and also this kind of catastrophe. From Siswa bomb, the first year this accident kind disaster that damage.
And on to some other news now. Government has directed internet majors Google, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Microsoft and Yahoo to immediately remove the links of dangerous online game Blue Whale Challenge. Now, the hazardous game has led to suicide of a number of children in India and other countries as well. Now, Mumbai and West Midnapore district have reported deaths linked to this game. The order was issued following instructions from IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. The Blue Whale Challenge is reportedly a suicide game in which a player is given certain tasks to complete for a period of 50 days and the final task leads to suicide. The player is also asked to share photographs after finishing the challenge. Now, the ministry has directed the proponent of Blue Whale Challenge to report to law enforcement agencies.
सरकार ने बिल्कुल सही दिशा में सही कदम उठाया है इन सर्विस प्रोवाइडर दिशा निर्देश देके कि आप कृपया इंश्योर करें कि आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पर जो भी ब्लू व्हेल चैलेंज से संबंधित जो लिंक्स हैं उनको हटाया जाए। साथ ही साथ दिशा निर्देश ये भी दिया है ताकि ये जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स हैं जो इस तरह के गेम के विभिन्न पहलुओं को एडमिनिस्टर करते हैं वो भी आपके सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स का दुरुपयोग ना कर सकें।
ये एक लिंक है जो सोशल मीडिया की कंपनियों के माध्यम से फैलता है और इस गेम को जो खेलते हैं उसका जो अंतिम चरण होता है वह बच्चों को सुसाइड के लिए प्रेरित करता है। तो उत्तेजना के माध्यम से बच्चों को एक उनके एडवेंचर को सुसाइड का रूप देना, यह इस गेम की एक जो असामाजिक एक इसका दायरा है जिसकी वजह से इसको बैन करने की बात हो रही है।
And on to some political news. As the rift in the Janata Dal United is deepening, the Sharad Yadav-led faction is all set to show its strength, with the party preparing to hold a national convention in Delhi on 17th of August, 2 days before Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar is scheduled to formally join the NDA. The party will be holding his meeting with all the 18 non-BJP parties. Now, Kumar's faction, however, has downplayed any repercussions of such a meeting. However, Sharad Yadav has claimed that his camp is true to the ideologies of the JDU. The Nitish-led group would be meeting on 19th of August to announce its decision to formally join the NDA as the 29th party.
पार्टियों के में से आधा दर्जन पार्टी ऐसी हैं जिनके पास तो ना लोकसभा में कोई सदस्य है, ना राज्यसभा में सदस्य है, ना विधानसभा में कोई सदस्य है। वो निरंतर इस तरह की एक्सरसाइज करते रहते हैं और हमें उसमें कोई ऐतराज़ नहीं है। जनता दल यू से उसका कोई लेना देना भी नहीं।
जनता दल यू तो हम लोग हैं जिसके साथ जनता है, तो आने वाले समय में वो प्रमाणित होगा। चुनाव भी आएगा तब भी होगा और भी होगा तो होगा। तो हम लोग उसी, चूँकि हम लोग 15 के मैंडेट पर ही हैं, हम लोग पार्टी के रेजोल्यूशन और कार्यक्रम और नीतियों पर ही हैं।
जेडीयू है कहाँ? वो तो बीजेपी हो गया। जेडीयू तो अपने जगह पर कायम है शरद यादव के नेतृत्व में और लाखों खर्च करता। जेडीयू तो खत्म हो गया, वो तो नमो शरणम गच्छामि हो गया।
And in news at 10, we'll slip into a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us. Welcome back after the break. Now, news from Jammu and Kashmir. Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti has said that she has faith in the institutions of the country, and she expressed confidence that the Supreme Court will dismiss a petition that challenges Article 35A of the Constitution. Mufti made it clear that power battles or political ideologies will not be a hindrance if there is a threat to the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. She also said that she had followed rival National Conference leader Farooq Abdullah's fatherly advice on the issue. Now, a plea in the Supreme Court has challenged some of these provisions, following which the Supreme Court has said that a constitution bench may examine whether Article 35A is gender biased and violative of the basic structure of the Constitution.
हमें यकीन है अपने सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे, उन्होंने आज तक जब जम्मू कश्मीर के तशख़्ख़ुस की तरफ किसी ने उंगली उठाई, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के दरबार में चला गया, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसको डिसमिस किया। मुझे यकीन है कि आज भी जो सिलसिला सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सामने है, उसको हमारी जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट है उसको उसी तरह से दुत्कारेगी जिस तरह पिछले 70 साल से वो दुत्कारती आई है।
Staying with Jammu and Kashmir, now Pakistani army violated a ceasefire this morning. They resorted to shelling and firing in forward areas along the line of control in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir. Now this prompted the Indian army to give a befitting response. Pakistani army initiated unprovoked and indiscriminate firing of small arms, automatics and mortars along the line of control. Now, there had been reports of firing and shelling in Mankot subsector of Poonch area as well. Pakistan violated ceasefire 4 times on 13th of August by resorting to firing and shelling in Krishna Ghati, North Shera, Mankot and North Kashmir, resulting in injuries to 3 jawans. And staying with Jammu and Kashmir, the National Investigation Agency has conducted searches at about a dozen locations in Jammu and Kashmir in connection with the terror funding cases against separatists and others. Now, officials in the Central Probe Agency said that the searches are being carried out at 12 locations in Srinagar, Baramulla and Handwara. They said that those being searched today have alleged links to the persons being investigated in the case. The NIA had arrested 7 persons on 24th of July in the case of alleged funding of terror and subversive activities in the Kashmir Valley to fuel unrest. The NIA has alleged that the money was being raised to fund separatist and terror activities in Jammu and Kashmir. An External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has said that India would grant a medical visa to Pakistani nationals in genuine pending cases. Now, in a tweet tagging the Indian High Commission in Pakistan, Sushma Swaraj said that medical visas in all bona fide cases pending with the ministry will be given. Now, a few weeks back, Sushma Swaraj had said that India would grant a medical visa to those nationals from the neighbouring country whose applications were recommended by Pakistan Prime Minister's Foreign Office advisor Sartaj Aziz. Aziz, however, is no longer the Pakistan Prime Minister's Foreign Office advisor. And the United States has released the 2016 International Religious Freedom Report. Now, this is the first report to be released under the Trump administration. The releasing of the report, U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said that religious freedom is under attack in Pakistan. The report says that minorities like Sikhs, Christians and Hindus remain concerned over government's inadequate action to address forced conversions to Islam. The report further says that members of religious minority communities said that there continued to be inconsistent application of laws that are safeguarding minority rights and the enforcement of protections of religious minorities at both the federal and provincial levels. The report also talks about conditions in several other countries across the world.
Almost 20 years after the law's passage, conditions in many parts of the world are far from ideal. Religious persecution and intolerance remains far too prevalent. Almost 80% of the global population live with restrictions on or hostilities to limit their freedom of religion. Where religious freedom is not protected, we know that instability, human rights abuses, and violent extremism have a greater opportunity to take root.
And US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have agreed to enhance peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region by establishing a new 2x2 ministerial dialogue. Now, this would elevate the strategic consultations. Trump spoke with Modi to greet him on the eve of India's Independence Day. During the phone call, Donald Trump welcomed the first ever shipment of American crude oil to India, which will begin this month from Texas. He pledged that the US would continue to be a reliable and long-term supplier of energy to India. The White House said that the two leaders resolved to enhance peace and stability across the Indo-Pacific region. Let's get to some international news now. At least 27 people have been killed and 83 others were injured as 3 female suicide bombers blew themselves up in northeastern Nigeria. The attack took place outside a refugee camp near Maiduguri in Borno State, which is a stronghold of Islamist militant group Boko Haram. The first bomber blew herself up near the camp, triggering panic. Now, as people were trying to close their shops, 2 other female bombers triggered explosives, causing most of the casualties. Rescue workers transported injured victims to a hospital in Maiduguri, which is 25 kilometers away from where the incident occurred. Now, Boko Haram has been fighting to set up an Islamic state since 2009. And US President Donald Trump has once again blamed both sides for the violent unrest in Charlottesville in Virginia, which left 1 protester dead and others injured. Now, in a statement on Monday, he had condemned white supremacists, but in New York on Tuesday, he also blamed left-wing supporters for charging at the alt-right. He also defended the time it took to make his statement, saying that he had wanted to establish all the facts. Now, Trump had been accused over the weekend of failing to condemn the far right specifically. A woman died and 19 others were hurt when a car was driven into people protesting against a far-right march in Charlottesville on Saturday. Trump also condemned the driver of the car, saying that he was a disgrace to himself, his family and his country.
I watched those very closely, much more closely than you people watched it. And you have you had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent. And nobody wants to say that, but I'll say it right now. You had a group on the other side that came charging in without a permit, and they were very, very violent.
News from Iran now. The president of the country, Hassan Rouhani, has warned that the country would abandon its 2015 nuclear deal with world powers within hours if the United States keeps on imposing new sanctions. Now, in a speech to Parliament, he also hit out at U.S. counterpart Donald Trump, saying that he had shown the world that Washington was not a good partner. Hassan Rouhani's comments came after Tehran carried out missile tests and strikes and Washington imposed new sanctions. Hassan Rouhani warned that Iran was ready to walk out of the deal, which saw the lifting of most international sanctions in return for curbs on its nuclear program if Washington persisted.
ایران در مدت زمانی کوتاه نه در مقیاس هفته و ماه بلکه در مقیاس ساعت و روز به شرایطی بسیار پیشرفته تر از زمان شروع مذاکرات باز خواهد گشت.
And let's get to some more international news in World Wrap. The last batch of weapons belonging to Colombia's former FARC rebels has been removed under United Nations supervision. President Juan Manuel Santos has said that this was the last breath of the 52-year conflict with the FARC. According to the UN mission head, a total of 17 containers of arms have been handed over in the past year. About 7,000 troops have been demobilized and are to be reintegrated into the society. Venezuela's Constituent Assembly on Tuesday ordered that cases of protesters detained this year will be held in civilian rather than military courts. The move came after the complaints from various right groups and the United Nations. The country underwent 4 months of nationwide unrest in which more than 120 people were killed. Venezuelan rights group has estimated that at least 120 people to be detained during protests since April and tried in military courts. The British government has said that it does not want any border posts between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland in its next position paper on Brexit. The paper is a part of its negotiation with the European Union. It says that the government does not want to see any physical infrastructure at the Irish border, such as customs posts. Northern Ireland is the only part of the UK which will share a land border with the EU member state when Britain leaves the EU in March 2019. A falling tree has killed at least 13 people and injured 49 at a religious ceremony on the Portuguese island of Madeira. A video shows that the tree came crashing down on a crowded square in a suburb of the main town in Funchal, spreading a panic among people who were enjoying the festivities. 2 children are reported to have been killed and some of the injured are said to be foreign. Blazes dotted the hills north of Greece's capital on Tuesday as night fell on the firefighters who are battling wildfires for a third day. A state of emergency has been declared in the area after a blaze broke out on Sunday in Kalamos. 3 firefighting planes and 6 water-throwing helicopters operated through the day, assisting 210 firefighters and about 100 military personnel battling the wildfires on the ground near the town of Kapandriti, about 45 kilometers northeast of Athens. And time to get you all the sporting action in Sports Wrap. Russian tennis star Maria Sharapova will be playing her first Grand Slam this year after receiving a wildcard entry for the US Open. Sharapova has played in the US Open main draw 10 times before. Sharapova's US Open preparations have been disrupted by an arm injury that she suffered during her first round win over Jennifer Brady earlier this month. The US Open will begin from 28th of August to 10th of September at Flushing Meadows in New York. Indian men's hockey team beat world number 4, the Netherlands, 2-1 in an exciting encounter in Amsterdam. Gurjant Singh and Mandeep Singh scored a goal each as India clinched to victory. The Indian team featured 9 players from the junior team, but it still managed to beat an experienced Netherlands squad and won the 3-match series. Football players Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi and Gianluigi Buffon have been nominated for the UEFA's Player of the Year award. Lionel Messi and Ronaldo have both won the award twice, with the Portugal international voted winner last year. The awards will be presented at this season's Champions League's group stage draw in Monaco on 24th of August. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of News at 10. Thanks so much for your time.